Is this your normal breakfast?
It is actually. It's been my normal breakfast the past couple of days. Pretty standard stuff. Salmon, white rice, some asparagus, a little bit of salt.
Has this week been different as far as food, or?
Yes and no. Yes, different from the typical contest prep. In regards to food selection, but not so different in regards to timing and like macro wise, number wise. And
So
I also test ran it a couple last month. I did a mock photo shoot. I did a photo shoot with a mock peak week to see what would work. And there's some new stuff out, new ways of peaking. Everybody has their own way of dialing somebody in for a competition. And I've read about it, and I've always done traditional stuff, and it's worked for me. And I never really played with any other method. This young guy, Chris, he's a big fan of, or he does what works for the client, for the competitor, but he has this stuff called rapid backloading or something backloading. And I tried it for the photo shoot. It was just way too much for me. I'm more of a slow and steady, so I've been building my carbs up. Carb depletion early in the week, and then I've been slowly increasing my carbs Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's better for digestion. It's better for me. I handle it better, and you know, there's a method. You want to be full, but you don't want to. They call it spilling over, where you have too many carbs, too much water, too much sodium. Any one of those factors could have the muscles looking soft and squishy because there's too many carbs in it. You got like cups in your muscles, right? So when they get filled up with glycogen, which is carbs, and water brings the carbs into the muscle. When they get filled up, where do they go? They have to go into the layer of, into the area between the muscle and the skin, and it makes you look soft. If you have all the cells filled up with carbohydrates, which is glycogen, and you get to that point where you haven't spilled over. Now you have that full look, then you have that crisp muscle look, right? So it's a fine line. It's like I'd rather be a little bit flat and not have complete maximum capacity of my muscle, you know, size, than to go too much and risk that soft, watery look after, you know, fucking 46 weeks of dieting. You know what I mean? It comes down to about 20 minutes, really.
How does is your water intake different at all, or I mean, I used to know
My
body.
water intake will be a little different today, but the past week, I mean, I drank close to 3 gallons of water yesterday. I drank 3 gallons of water on Thursday. I drank 2 gallons of water on Wednesday.
So is that an increase in water intake?
No, he was actually surprised that I typically drink about 2 to 2.5 gallons of water every day. He's like, damn, that's a lot of water. I think it's excess. I was like, I just like water. Could it be a little bit taxing on my system? Maybe. But since I was a kid, I like drinking water, man. It's like, and again, the more you drink, the more you kind of require and need, you know?
Yeah.
But I'll blast through 3/4 of a gallon while I'm working out.
I asked because my first job, I worked with a bodybuilder, and he used to have shows, and he used to he used to have gallons of water at his desk, maybe the day or two before, of like distilled water. Is that a different method, or
It's a myth.
A myth, okay.
So the idea of distilled water is you don't want to bring any sodium in your water, and you want to make sure you're depleting. And you don't want to hold on to any water. And the concept of sodium, salt, makes you retain water. But the science behind it is salt helps carbs transport into the muscle, right? So there's an electrolyte kind of balance there. So if you don't have salt, if you don't have sodium, and your electrolyte balance is off, you're gonna piss the water out, and you're not gonna get it into the muscle where it should be. So for the past week, 2 weeks, I've been adding an eighth of a teaspoon of sodium or salt to every one of my meals. So your body kind of self-regulates it and notices that you're increasing